Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday, and welcome to our Sunday Stock Talk. This is where we come together and simply break down the stocks that you guys request us to. So really just sit back if you have any stocks that you would like me to break down and share my opinion on. Please just share that in the live chat. If you ever want to tune on in to one of these live sessions, just make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on your post notifications, and I host one of these free live streams every single Sunday at 6:30 p.m. So I want to say what's up to a couple of people that are tuning on in right now. I hope that we can earn your thumbs up, and then we'll go from there. So we got Braden, how you doing? So that is actually one of the things that I completely blanked on, and it is the giveaway winner. So how many of you guys are tuning on in right now? Because we're going to be giving away the day trader art. So I'm not too sure if you guys saw over the weekend. I think we posted it yesterday. We wanted to give away some one of our aluminum art that if you guys have ever seen, like on the Shop TechBud site. I think it's the third link down below. Let's go ahead and see if we can actually pop it up. So here we go. But you guys can see here that one of the things that a lot of people like from our site are these wall arts. We have everything from just flags, they're $19, right, to actual aluminum art. So you guys can scroll all the way over here, and we're giving away a day trader one. So my favorite one is definitely the Hustle to Inspire, but some people were requesting the day trader one, so we're going to be giving away one of those today. I actually don't know if I'm going to announce it in this live stream because I don't have it ready, but what I'll do is I'll go live on Instagram, and I'll choose a random person who promoted us. So what's it called? I don't know why I'm stuttering right now, but that participated in the giveaway. But let's go ahead and get started. What's going on, Anwar? What's going on, Braden? What's going on, Hazmit? So we got Sam. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. So we got Adrian Martinez. How you doing? So we got TC. What's up? What's up? Joshua, you are here for the giveaway. Nice. I like to see it. So already hold Netflix since Friday. I like that. Love to see it. There we go. So we got Braden in the house. We got Shad, King Kong, TC, Little Devil 215. What's going on, Wyatt? So Luca, pumped for the Sunday Stock Talk. Happy to have you here. So let's go ahead and just start breaking down whatever stocks it is that you guys would, like us to. So if you have a stock that you would like me to break down, just make sure you share it in the live chat, and I'd be more than happy to break it down. So what's going on, Anthony? What's going on, Jim? What's up? What's up? Acacia Hunt. Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. What's going on, Joe? So good to see you too, Ricky. Appreciate that, man. So skills, brother. All right, so let's go ahead and break that down. So one of the things I did want to share with you guys is we have some pretty big heavy hitters this week as well. So a lot of stocks are reporting earnings. You guys might be asking, if you're newer to the stock market, you're like, why does anyone care about earnings? Well, things like this can happen. When a stock reports earnings, it could either shoot up or pull back. I'm someone that really likes to focus on good deals. Twitter sold off on Friday 15%. So I view that to be like, hey, big picture, I can get this for a decent deal right now. I'll pick it up for a lower price than what it was just a couple days ago. It doesn't mean that it has to recover right away. That's not the intention with these. Some recover quicker than others, some don't recover at all, right? So really definitely something that you need to take into consideration. But I focus a lot on earnings and the ones that pull back. So I have a lot that are going to be reporting earnings this upcoming week that I'm excited to follow up with. So let me know in the comment section if you guys would like me to continue to make the videos like I uploaded today, right? And the ones that I've been uploading like every other day. I make like my top 5 or my top 10 favorite earnings stocks for that I've been reported. So let me know. We got AMC. We got AMC reporting earnings on Thursday, so that should be exciting. But let's go ahead and get started. So SKLZ. Let's go ahead and break that down. SKLZ. Here we go. So on the 180-day chart, and again, please take into consideration that just because you see value in something doesn't mean that I have to, and just because I see value in something doesn't mean that you have to. One of the things that I always want to encourage you to do is to be your own person and to be empowered to say no, right? To be selective. So please, whatever it is that I share today, the list of 10 stocks, I don't expect you to see value in all of them, right? They're just random stocks that are being shared. My goal for you is to cherry pick the 1 or 2 stocks that you agree with that you can maybe just add to your watch list. So SKLZ was bullish, but it looks like it's been descending ever since. So it has earnings coming up on the 4th of May. Definitely something to take into consideration. But we have been getting rejected by the SMA line. As you guys can see, it's been making lower lows and lower highs. Looks like it's trying to find a support. I'm going to keep this one super short and sweet. Do I view this to be a good deal? Do I like the direction? Of course not, right? It's bearish. It just recently came back from a pullback. But can it begin to indicate signs of an uptrend? I mean, it can, but it hasn't been, right? It's been getting rejected by the SMA line almost every single time. So let it prove it to it. Let it prove it to you, right, that it's a stock worth trading once it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. So I'm going to set my alert there, and then we'll go from there. But also, we know that there's 2 sides to every opportunity, so let's never be afraid to wait for that proper confirmation. So I set my alert for the break below that. So let's go ahead and move on to AMC. All right, so AMC is going to be a little bit different, right? That's obviously a very hyped up stock right now. We do have earnings coming up. That can act as both a negative or positive influence. You guys can see here that it did act as a positive influence, but then quickly pulled right on back. So earnings again for AMC is on the 6th of May. So make sure you take that into consideration if you plan to hold it after earnings. Altogether, I don't feel like AMC has been doing anything crazy. It's been consolidating a lot. It's not been super bullish. It hasn't been super bearish. I still think it's hyped up, but again, that's 100% my opinion. Would I recommend this for beginners because I think it's a safe investment or a safe trade? Of course not, right? Is this something that can be extremely rewarding? Of course, right? This thing gets pumped up quite a bit. So if you know how to lock in profits, if you know how to manage your risk, and you can tolerate that type of volatility, then all power to you. You just have to understand the position that you put yourself in, right? So I'm excited to follow up with it just for the idea of following up, not because I'm actually going to take a position on AMC. So I'm going to put my 2 alerts there, and we can just follow up with it then. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So we got ticker symbol XXII and then ZM. What's going on, Sam? So ZM and then XXII. So let's go ahead, break down ZM. So we have talked about ZM before. So Zoom Media or Zoom Video Communications. One of the things that we said about this last time, and not much has changed. You guys can let me know in the comments section if you agree. A lot of consolidation. This thing is not bullish. This thing is not bearish. It's holding in between the support of $300 and the resistance of $350. It's right now getting rejected and being dragged down by the SMA line. So make sure you take that into consideration. I see why you're paying attention to it being closer to the $300 support or the $320 support where it tends to bounce at. But we'll see. Again, patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to, especially with a lot of market volatility and a lot of big stocks reporting earnings. It could influence the overall market and it could drive the price down further than anticipated. So just make sure you take that into consideration. So I'm going to set my alerts. So significant resistance level. I think that when this thing begins to break above 350, then maybe I would like to follow up with it then, right? Because as of right now, I don't like to put my money in something and it just kind of consolidate. It doesn't do anything, right? Trading and investing is all about opportunity cost. You put money into it because you expect it to grow. When it's not showing signs of growth, then what's the idea? It's not showing signs of a good deal. It's not showing signs of growth. So let's just keep it super simple, and I set my 2 alerts and I'll follow up with it then. And then the next one is XXII. So looks like it just recently hit 180-day highs, right? Hit highs of 607, pulling back a little bit, some consolidation here, and then we have earnings. So this is kind of like a recipe for disaster when a stock pushes up right before earnings, right? And the reason I say that is because the price pushed up so much, if it reports earnings, and even if it ends up reporting profitable earnings, but because of the price level, if it's not as profitable as expected, then we can easily see this stock pull on back. This is why a lot of you guys sometimes ask, how does a company report positive earnings, but the stock still pulls back? It's all about expectation, right? So if they expect it to be better than anticipated, it can report profitable earnings, but the guidance can be off, or just because of current price levels, it can still pull on back because it wasn't that much greater than anticipated. So let's go ahead and break down a couple of more. So we got Wing. Wingstop, wasn't that last week, right, that they reported earnings? So Wingstop is heading. So I like that you're focusing on something that's bullish, right? Very bullish, holding really well above EMA. A very simple question that you might ask yourself, is this a good deal? Well, looking at previous highs, this isn't a good deal, but it's bullish, right? So if you want to write it up as it still has that momentum going on, then all power to you. But I wouldn't view this to be an amazing deal, right? This thing has a lot of pullback potential. Once it actually begins to pull on back, I'll set my alert there. But I see why you're paying attention to it, and it's because it's become so bullish after it reported earnings. You guys can see with the RSI, you can see with the MACD. Again, indicators just to use as a reference. Definitely a little bit more on the overbought side. So let's go ahead and set those two alerts, and then we can go from it then from there. But as of right now, I wouldn't view Wing to be the best deal as of right now. So we got FUBO. So FUBO, let's go ahead and break that down. So very consistent descending pattern. One of the questions, again, I'm not here to say no to you, right? I'm not here to change your mind. If you see value in FUBO, all power to you. All I want to ask you is, what makes FUBO a good deal now versus last week, or the week before that, or the week before that, or the week before that? FUBO is bearish. It's selling off. It's making lower lows and lower highs. It's indicating no signs of an uptrend. So why would you want to put your money in something that's selling off right now? Is it because you plan to put your money in now, you're not going to touch it, and you hope it recovers over a long period of time? You know, that could be your approach. But there's no risk management there, right? So make sure you take into consideration your position size. Make sure you take into consideration earnings. It's on the 11th of May. Last time it reported earnings, looks like we quickly sold off right after. So again, all I want you to always take into consideration is opportunity cost and risk management. Is this something that you want to put your money in right now? Only you can answer that question, right? Let's go ahead and move on to what is that? So GW. GRWG. Alrighty, so I like how this one would trade before. It was very consistent. I love bullish stocks where over a long period of time they're super bullish, super consistent, but it looks like it kind of lost its thing here. So a lot of consolidation here. Looks like it tends to have a support level right around $40, resistance level right around $54. As of right now, direction is definitely not in your favor. It's getting rejected by the SMA line. I think this is a perfect example, a perfect indicator on the big charts to tell you direction a little bit more clear, right? When we were trading in this area, the SMA line was pointing up, right? It was indicating signs of growth. As of right now, it's stagnant, or if anything, it's actually pointing down, right? So a lot of consolidation here, and until proven otherwise, I just wouldn't really see this to be a great opportunity. But let's go ahead and set those effective alerts and follow up with it. So I appreciate you sharing that one with us, though. So we got Ego. Alrighty. Okay, so I like this one. So looks like you are following up with this one after it reported earnings on, what is that, Friday? Yeah, so very significant drop that it reported earnings. One of the things that we have to take into consideration is that it's very bearish as of right now, making lower highs and lower lows. You are correct, it is oversold, but just because something is oversold doesn't mean it can't continue to sell off. Definitely something to take into consideration, right? Let's set those effective alerts. If you want to buy the dip on something, just make sure that you don't buy the dip on something that's a falling knife and it continues to sell off. Just because something sells off doesn't mean that it has to recover right away. This is all common sense things, but the reason I'm saying this is because I know that there's a lot of beginners out there that, just like myself, when I was just getting started, we have that good deal mentality. Buy the dip, right? But you have to understand that things don't always recover, and sometimes they won't ever recover. So I would hate for you to buy the dip on something and it just simply continues to sell off. So if I can save you that headache, then so be it, right? So set those alerts. Once it begins to indicate signs of reversal, I'd love to follow up with it, and we can go from there. So NVIDIA, NVDA. So NVDA, very popular stock, very overbought. So it was very bullish, right? It became hit highs of 648, but as right now, a lot of consolidation. This one doesn't have earnings till towards the end of the month. So that's on the 26th of May. So a lot of consolidation here, a lot of pullback potential. We'll just have to follow up with it and see if it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. I just wouldn't view this thing to be a good deal. There's not anything significant about it right now, about its price level, about previous trading prices, that I'm like, dang, this is something that I have to get into right now. If anything, it's more on the overbought side, and I would like to set an alert to be able to pick it up at a better deal versus where it's at as of right now. But again, that's just my 2 cents. So we got Tesla and SOS. So INTC. All right, so INTC, a very popular one. I think this is Intel. Yeah, Intel reported earnings. Intel was bullish, right, after a very, very poor earnings, right? It recovered, but as of right now, right, it's still selling off. So I have my alert set here. We talked about this one last week. Until it begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, so from where we're at as of right now to previous highs, that's about 16 to 17%. So until then, I wouldn't really take this into consideration to invest in or to buy right now. It's still selling off. It still has margin to potentially sell off. So make sure you take that into consideration. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So WBA. So we got WBA. Alrighty. I like this one. This one has to be one of my favorite ones that has been shared with us within this Sunday Stock Talk. Let me know if you guys agree. Very consistent uptrend pattern. It tends to find a support. You know, people love to ask, when do you know how to buy a stock? Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to, but when you perform a quick technical analysis on something like this, you can see that almost every single time that it approaches the SMA line, it finds a support here, and then it bounces. It bounces. It bounces. It bounces. And we'll see if it bounces. I already have all my alerts set here. We've talked about this one before. So once this thing begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, this isn't something that offers crazy return or anything like that, but guess what? It's consistent, it's bullish, and it's at a decent deal based off of previous trading prices, and it's at a potential support level. So definitely something to take into consideration. F, and then we got SWI. I appreciate you guys putting that in the ticker call out format. So Ford, as of right now, pulled on back. So Ford hit highs of 1362, a lot of consolidation. This is a perfect example of something that was bullish, peaks, right, begins to consolidate, and then begins to trade below the SMA line, which is where we begin to see something maybe bleed or give back. So I see why you're paying attention to it based off of it reporting earnings. It's at a potential support level, and from where we're at right now to previous highs, 11%. So I definitely see why you're paying attention to it. I would just be very careful that this could be in the early stages of it selling off. So just make sure you take that into consideration. SWI, also another very popular stock that was bullish, sold off, and has been struggling to recover ever since then. Reported earnings, it's selling off. It's been bearish before, so I'd be very, very selective about, investing early into this. As of right now, it is pulling back. It could continue to sell off, and one of the things that I only want to encourage you to do is to be selective in the idea that, guess what? You don't have to buy the dip as soon as something sells off, because it could continue to sell off. So imagine this, right? I know sometimes you have FOMO, all that good stuff, but I would rather miss out on an opportunity than to be someone that buys in early and then ends up losing a good deal of money, right? Versus you can just set alerts, and the more it sells off, the better for you, right? The more it sells off, the better for you, because then that means that you can get it for a better deal. So I challenge you to stay patient with the trades that you decide to take advantage of, or the deals that you begin to find. How many times, right? More often than not, probably. I know I have found myself in this predicament from time to time where I tend to buy in too early, and I'm like, dang it, if I would have just waited one day, I would have been able to see more clearly that this was not a stock I wanted to invest in. And if you're someone that says that pretty often, or thinks that pretty often, then maybe actually holding yourself back can be a step in the right direction. So I appreciate you sharing this one with me. But a lot of consolidation on /NQ on the 180-day chart. Yeah, Pinterest. So let's go ahead and do Pinterest. I'll talk about the overall chart, and then we'll go from there. So Pinterest is one stock that if you guys watched my video from today, if you guys haven't watched my video from today, I would really encourage you to watch it. I felt like it was a pretty good video. You guys can let me know in the comment section. I planned it. I laid it out very simple. I talked about Pinterest, why I invested in it, and then two other stocks. I invested $10,000 each into 3 different stocks, and Pinterest was one of them. One of the things that I want to share with you is, first, just because I invest in something does not make it a good buy, right? This thing can easily, right? It's at a potential support level of $65, and I'm telling you this as someone that's invested in it. It means nothing, right? If it does not get confirmation, this thing can easily continue to drop. I'm never here to sell you the idea that what I invest in is the holy grail. I make mistakes just like you every single day, right? With that being said, I like to invest in companies that I use every day and that I believe in and that I believe are good deals. Pinterest was simply one of those that met my criteria. My criteria is not your criteria, so make sure that you understand that. I always, always, always want to encourage you to be selective. Be your own person. Just because someone else is doing something doesn't mean that you have to do it the same way, right? Let's make sure that we note that. /NQ. A lot of people are asking about this, right? As of right now, the NASDAQ market is in the green, so that's a step in the right direction. You guys can see here. So we are looking to open up in the green. This is just my 2 cents. This is not to scare you, nothing like that. All I want to share with you is NASDAQ is at 180-day highs. It's consolidating a lot. Can it continue to rally? Of course. But if anything begins to go wrong, it cannot be a surprise if it pulls back, pulls back, pulls back. Pullbacks are part of the game. Pullbacks are part of the process. And the reason that I'm saying this is I'd rather you be prepared than to be surprised. I don't want you crying and asking why the market is against you. Just like yourself and myself, we're irrelevant to the market, right? We don't play a role in that. Our job is to take advantage of opportunities that make sense to us and to put ourselves in a position to succeed. As of right now, as the market is overbought, why would I be super heavily invested? Because it offers pullback potential, right? So I want to be liquid enough in my trading account and my investing account that if the market does begin to pull back, I can take advantage of the good deals when it does pull back. The only people that complain on pullbacks are the people that are too heavily invested and cannot tolerate a pullback. Ask yourself, right? How many times when something sells off and you're able to pick it up for a good deal, do you complain? No, because you're in a position to succeed. But it's only when you buy the highs and you hold it, and there's nothing wrong with holding something during a pullback. If you're an investor, my investing positions, I'm not touching those. But it's all about your intent. If you're going in for a trade and you're buying at these overbought levels and you don't prepare for a pullback, then that's simply the position that you put yourself in. So just make sure you take that into consideration. Put yourself in a position to succeed in which you can tolerate. That simple. So that's going to be it for that's going to be it for me today. I'm very excited to share and follow up with a lot of these different stocks that are going to be reporting earnings this week. As you guys can see right on over here, we have Chegg, we have PayPal, Rocket. Rocket was a very popular stock, especially that got short squeezed as well. We got Uber, Etsy's, Roku, AMC, Square, Moderna, right? Super popular stock, Wayfair, DraftKings, and Nikola. A lot of big stocks are reporting earnings this week. So you guys can see this list. This is from Earnings Whispers. I think they're on Instagram. Friendly reminder, this doesn't mean that every single stock that you see here is going to be a good deal. The great thing about the stock market is that you get to be selective and you get to choose where you want to invest your money. That's the amazing thing about the market. So whatever stocks are reporting earnings that you want to follow up with, set a reminder and make sure that you do just that. Follow up with it and set your future self up for success. Peloton and GoPro are also reporting earnings, and those are big stocks that I'm personally paying attention to. So I appreciate your guys' time. If you guys want to stay connected, first link in the description is our free Facebook group. We have over 311,000 members. It is free, so you guys can refresh this screen. And again, that's that first link in the description. Also, if you guys want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow, I only work with one group, and that's the LPP group. They get to watch me trade live every single day. If you like my videos, if you like the way that I break things down, and you'd like to tune on into one of my live trading sessions, click the second link down below, learn a little bit more about it, and if you find it to be a good fit for you, I'll see you tomorrow at Market Open. If you guys want any discounts to join our team, then just make sure you message me on Instagram. Friendly reminder, I only have one Instagram, one Twitter account, and I never message you first. So if you receive a message from me saying hi or something like that, I can guarantee you it's a fake account. I never message you first. I don't trade crypto. I don't trade anything else. I don't have WhatsApp. This is my only account. I never message you first. And if someone reaches out to you impersonating me, then just know that it's a fake account. I hope that we earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year